morning, welcome to State of the Studio, the second week. So this week I wanted to talk about a few different things, mostly what I've been working on for the past week, and also a few strategies to help with a little bit of productivity in your week. I think I'm going to start off with the productivity stuff real quick. I just wanted to mention a couple of strategies that I've been utilizing for getting more things done. So right now we're in these unprecedented times, and I think that there is a ton of pressure for artists. There's a lot of people saying like, these are your perfect conditions, you're gonna get so much work done, you're gonna be able to create all day. And I think that's kind of building up and creating a little bit of not just pressure, but also maybe a little bit anxiety for some artists, thinking that they're not getting enough done. And this was a little bit the case for me, especially last week when I was just initially overwhelmed with everything that was happening, and I just did not feel like I could get anything done. And so some of the things that I've done differently this week are break things down into smaller tasks. So I'm personally a list person, and I really like to start my week off with a list of all of the different things that I want to accomplish. So, write down, I want to apply for such and such grant, I want to paint the underpainting of XYZ painting, I want to sketch 4 times this week, stuff like that. And that way, whenever you go through the week, you can kind of check those off and really feel like you've accomplished something. So I find that is enormously helpful for me. I also really like to create a sense of routine. And so for me, that looks like getting up and getting up at the same time every day, where I still have my alarm set, I'm still getting up, I'm still treating my day as it was. So I like to do that. For some people, it really helps to get dressed, take a shower, and create a sense of normalcy. And some other things would be also just to realize that you might not get as much done as you wanted to, and to accept that that's okay too. I mean, we don't have to wake up and start painting. You don't have to wake up and create all day, every day. That can be exhausting too. So you really need to look at your mental health and understand what is feasible and what is not. Okay, so since we've already kind of touched on that and how I'm breaking my day down a little bit, I want to start with what I've done this week. So for this week, I really wanted it to have a different feel for me. Last week was very serious. It was a lot of very heavy emotions that are happening in response to the pandemic, and everything shutting down. The schools are out, and every venue is closed, and all these different activities are closed, and we're really encouraged to stay at home and only make necessary trips. And it was very heavy. And this week I wanted to make it a little bit lighter. So I've focused more on some of the fun and humorous parts of our situation and our collective experiences. And of course, the first thing that came to my mind was the toilet paper shortage. So I started working on this study last week. It's just in an underpainting phase right now, and I'll have to clean it up, add another layer, add more depth and dimension. And I'm thinking more fun colors as well, just because it's so unexpected and kind of hysterical that we literally struggled to find toilet paper for weeks, and a little bit of that is still going on. But I think when we look back on this in a few years, we're going to laugh so much about certain aspects, and this is something that I wanted to memorialize. And this is really different for me. I don't typically make anything that I find humorous, so it's a good time to explore some different things, some different feelings and themes. So this has been super fun, and I'll probably do a couple of these just because they make me laugh. The other really funny project that I started working on is this Joe Exotic painting. So this is hilarious to me. Right now, with everybody being home, we're watching a lot more television, and I think kind of bonding over that too through social media. And so part of that is the Tiger King show. And I think for us as Oklahomans, this has an extra layer of being just outrageous, because it hits so close to home. It's right down the street, honestly. So the fact that that this has gone nationwide and everybody's really enjoying it together it's really funny. So I really like this particular work that I've started because it's so quintessentially Joe Exotic. I mean, you've got your Seth Wadley hat, you've got the leg brace, you've got the guns, the necklace, the over-the-top shirt. So I'm really excited to get this kind of fleshed out. This is just in the really rough, very beginning phase. And so what I'll do is I figure out the background at some point. I might add a tiger, who knows. But it's in a layer that, this is the second time trying this, and this is called Verdacho, or you might have heard it called Verdai. So this is where you paint everything in a green tone, mostly for skin tone, but it can apply to the entire painting. And what this does is, for one, it allows you to pick up on kind of the greens and blues that exist in skin, and also it really contrasts strongly with the pinks and reds that will be layered over the top, and it makes them pop a lot more. So, like I said, this is the second time of trying it, and the first time was also this week. So this, and I'm doing all of these on these canvas boards because it's what I had laying around, and we can't really go anywhere. So this is the other one that I did, and this is a little bit back to that kind of serious note in the work that I've been doing in response to the coronavirus situation. So I wish I had an example of this in its earlier phase, but the entire underpainting of this is done in green. And I found this to be incredibly successful for this particular piece. And this isn't finished yet. I still have to do some more detailing in the hair and maybe touch up some different things. But it's really nice to be able to capture some of these greens and blues in the skin tone, and I think it makes it a lot easier to gravitate towards that, because normally we tend to only picture pinks and oranges and really fleshy colors in skin, but it made highlighting some of that a lot easier. So I really enjoyed that, and this piece is really kind of reflective and contemplative and about taking deep breaths and processing what we're going through. So this one will definitely be, I might even touch on this again on a different medium or a different substrate. I might try this on the wood panel because I've been really excited about wood panels here lately. And speaking of wood panels, this is the other piece that I started this week. This is something that I have had kind of in my head for several months now for a body of work, including figures, and it seems to lend itself to the theme that I'm working with right now. And it's really experimental as well. As soon as this layer dries, I plan on going over it with some sandpaper, knocking off the texture that's in there currently, and trying to expose some of this wood grain. And then I'm gonna layer differently after that, and we're just kind of gonna see how this goes, which is kind of the fun of experimentation and trying new things. But I'm excited to see where this goes, and I do think that there will be a whole series of work that is going to be on these wood panels that, you know, hopefully some really good things will come out of this, even though it's a trying time. But thank you guys for tuning in today and just checking in on what I'm up to. And feel free to reach out with any questions or comments, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks.